Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be looking at a strat that I like to use whenever I'm attacking the second floor of Canal. A lot of people actually don't like Canal, and I could be wrong, but I think one of the reasons people hate Canal so much is because of how the second level is laid out. This narrow space between the bottom and the windows can make it difficult at times for the attackers to gain map control, and the only other way to get control of the east side is by going up the stairs. However, there's a much better way in my opinion of helping your teammates attacking the radar wall without having to put yourself in harm's way. So here's my strat. Step 1. You're preferably going to want to pick the operator ace. Make sure you bring his smoke grenades, as this tactic will not be nearly as effective without them. Step 2. Spawn on construction site which is closest to the east side. Step 3. Check to see if the enemy team has placed mute jammers or electric gadgets on the east walls. If so, have a Thatcher or Callie destroy the equipment, or ping the wall for teammates below in kitchen to take out the enemy gadgets. Most likely, you're only going to need one EMP, because most of the time, the defensive team isn't expecting you to hard breach this wall. So they're not going to be sitting there waiting to bandit trick it, most likely. Step 4. After step 3, open up one of these windows. This is where we get to the fun part.
This is where the fun begins.
Next, toss one smoke grenade inside as close to the breachable wall as possible. Wait 1 second to see if the enemy throws the C4, and if you don't hear it, the next thing you'll want to do is throw your Selma charge against the wall. After you do that on the one side, go to the window perpendicular to the one you attacked first and repeat. For your last Selma charge, you're going to want to throw it through this hole you created and breach a second wall parallel to you. The beauty of this is that your smoke grenades conceal the breach charges from enemies, and if all three walls are breached successfully, you now put major choke points on the defensive team. Think about it, you've just created 3 major lines of sight that the enemy has to worry about, especially this one, because if your team creates an opening on this wall, now you have cross angles that make it very hard for the enemy to maneuver around. With all 3 walls open, if I'm on the defensive team and I'm standing here, now I have to move back behind the desk. If your teammates coordinate effectively, this can create a massive amount of pressure on the enemy team. And you don't really need anybody to help you once step 3 is complete. In fact, I would suggest having 1 to 2 teammates attack from Blue Bridge, because if you already have cleared the walls, now the defenders are pinned down in these tight corners that make it very hard to rotate through. Now there are a couple of important things to know. Number 1, if the enemy bans Ace, you still have the option of using Hibana without placing yourself in harm's way. Just keep in mind that without smokes, enemy players can shoot your pellets if they're standing in the hall. And if you're lucky enough that the enemy hasn't for some odd reason reinforced the walls and hasn't placed an ADS close enough, you can very quickly make that line of sight with Sophia. The second thing to note is that if you don't throw your smokes close enough to the wall, it is possible for the enemy to still see it. So I suggest bouncing it off these gray lines here if you're worried about that. And lastly, if your teammates aren't pushing radar room, or at least 2 of your teammates have died and there's only 1 minute left, at that point you need to stop holding this angle and start repositioning, because very likely the enemy will rotate to green stairs. So don't get caught up holding this angle for too long, unless your teammates are about to plant at the desk. Overall, I love how this strat creates so many choke points and cross angles. I've personally found it much easier to attack the second floor when I do this, and I hope it helps you. I also have a big video that I've been working on for Siege, so keep an eye out for that, and I'm also going to be doing a video on Halo Reach as well. Thanks, and have a good day.